Hey everyone, welcome to episode 3 of the RadioJoel review. This week's episode's coming to you in 2 parts because there was just a huge slate of comics I was reading in both Marvel and DC. So if you like this part and want to see the next and want to see what else I've got coming for you in the upcoming weeks, hit the subscribe button. There's a lot of fun stuff coming from the RadioJoel review. So let's get right to it. First up for Marvel this week is The Amazing Spider-Man 795. Threat Level Red Part 2, The Favor. In it, we see Loki as the Sorcerer Supreme trying to make good on a favor owed to Spider-Man so that Spider-Man doesn't come back and ask for something that Loki doesn't really want to do. It ends up being a tiny favor of turning back time, but mere minutes so that a man doesn't die from a mystical wasp horde that is accidentally released by Spider-Man and confronting Loki. I know, whatever, but where this issue gets fun is on the last couple of pages where we're taken to the study of Norman Osborn, where we see him holding the Carnage symbiote, which is what we saw at the end of the last issue. So this is going to be a key issue for collectors moving forward as we see Norman and the Carnage symbiote bond for the first time. Very exciting stuff. Get your hands on it. Stay tuned for a lot more exciting stuff in Threat Level Red as we lead up to The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 800. So stay involved in this storyline. Next up for Marvel this week, we've got Daredevil 598, the continuation of the Mayor Fisk storyline, where Matt Murdock, serving as the deputy mayor, is spying on Mayor Fisk. Now, Mayor Fisk is really trying to figure out what's going on as Muse is terrorizing the city with his murals, and the issue ends with Muse killing a handful of cops, and Mayor Fisk saying, this will work in his favor as they try and turn the entire city against the vigilantes. So this is a cool storyline. I'm sure there's something big in store in issue 600. Stay tuned, pick it up, hot issue. Continuing with Marvel this week, we've got Venom 161, Tangled Webs, Part 1 of 1. It's just a story of Venom and his encounter with Spider-Woman. Spider-Woman doesn't believe that he's trying to be reformed, and eventually his symbiote bonds with Spider-Woman to show her everything that he's been through. She ends up just letting him be, saying that she's going to keep an eye on him. It was a lukewarm issue in my opinion. I really like the Venom character, but the issue was just so-so. If you miss it, not a big deal, but definitely keep up with the Venom storyline. Moving on to a brand new issue this week, we've got X-Men Red #1, which follows the story of adult Jean Grey and a team that she's going to assemble. In it, we see Jean Grey trying to get mutants recognized as a nation in the UN. At the end of the issue, we see the ambassador of Great Britain in a confrontation with Jean, and her head gets exploded. I know. Now, we're not quite sure what causes it, but clearly it wasn't Jean, and what it does is it turns everybody against the mutants. So this is going to kick off a huge storyline of mutants trying to get recognized again as a nation, and the world not really coming to terms with it. I thought it was a hot issue. I think it's going to be a fun storyline. Stick with it. A lot of cool socio-political things going on here. Next up, we're keeping with X-Men and going with X-Men Gold number 21, Brotherhood Part 1. In it, we see Mesmero, Avalanche, and Pyro join forces as they go on to take on a depleted X-Men team as Old Man Logan walks away as he's feeling, his body really starting to wear. The issue ends with the new Brotherhood having the upper hand and leaving the X-Men looking like they're in trouble. I'm sure there's a lot more that's going to happen here as we're just in Part 1. Stay tuned, hot issue. I like this story. Next up in the X-Men line, we've got Rogue and Gambit issue number 2, Ring of Fire. In it, they're still trying to infiltrate this couples therapy group, and we actually get a cool walk down memory lane as they argue about how they first met. Now, the issue ends with them stumbling upon a room full of mutants hooked up to machines, so next issue we're probably going to find out a little bit more about what's going on here. Hot issue, definitely check it out. Next up for Marvel this week is another key issue, Infinity Countdown number 1, Adam Warlock. In it, Adam Warlock is brought back to life by Kang the Conqueror, who's at the end of time, and he's just trying again and again to stop it. But this is about the 113th time, and it seems to be futile. So he decides he's going to send Adam Warlock all the way back in time to before Kang became Kang, and he's going to try and move Adam Warlock ahead in time through non-mystical means. So this is a very interesting story we got going on here, kicking off a huge storyline. A lot of stuff is going to happen. Stay tuned in the coming months. Hot issue, go get it. And last of what I'm reading this week in Marvel, I'm just going to run through real brief with you. It's Marvel Legacy, the Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man 298. Now, I'm just picking up this storyline for the first time, so I'm not going to go ahead and give you a big review on it. I liked it. The Tinkerer is involved. We see a lot of baddies. I'll keep following with it, and you're going to get reviews for it in the coming weeks. Also, the 2 Black Panther issues this week, The Rise of Black Panther #2 and Black Panther, The Sound and the Fury #1. I'm not going to go ahead and review these because they were basically just ads for the movie. Not very interesting, just trying to make money off the Black Panther movie that's coming out. They were so-so. If you're not familiar with Black Panther, it's a chance to maybe familiarize yourself a little bit with his history, but not great issues for what they are. Thanks so much for watching the Radio Joel Review Episode 3, Part 1. Part 2 is coming your way, so hit the subscribe button to be notified when it's dropped.